With us now is Larry Sparano, and maybe they should get rid of algorithms or whatever they're called. What do you think?
Yeah, well, algorithms are a two-edged sword, Kent. They
Yeah.
filter out some bad stuff, some misleading stuff, some disinformation. But at the same time, it's already being used to filter out non-politically correct reporting and
Hmm.
sites. Now, a case in point, and don't reject this automatically, Alex Jones. He's been banned from Facebook, he's been banned from YouTube, from every social media
Right,
site and all
right.
that. Now, not all of his stuff is off the wall tabloid nonsense. A lot of his reports, it's more than a kernel of truth, and it's not
I
being
agree. I agree.
by
Yeah.
any other media. Now, for instance, Gerald Celente, who is a long-time, well-known, well-respected economist, fills in for Alex Jones now and then. And
Hmm.
he's not tabloid and off the wall. Alex Jones, I've talked to Gerald personally. Alex Jones does not tell him what to say. There's no censorship there.
Hmm.
And also Paul Craig Roberts, who was the Assistant Secretary of the Treasury under the Reagan administration. He can't get airtime on the regular networks anymore because he doesn't follow the party line for either
Hmm.
side, and he
Hmm.
tells it
Hmm.
like it is. He's well respected, very well knowledge and all that, and nobody gives him airtime, so he has to do his own site now. So it works both ways. It's a double-edged sword. But yeah, there is much more misleading information and disinformation. But also now the mainstream media, Kent, has its
Hmm.
own filters, and a lot of their stuff is either intentionally misleading or because of their own filters, they don't realize how
Hmm.
misleading some of their information is, and also what they don't report, Kent, what
Hmm.
they don't report.
Sure. I agree.
Epstein. That
Right.
that story died. That should be a
Exactly. Right.
major
Right.
investigative report. I haven't heard one reporter yet
Right.
talk to Bill Clinton, ask him about,
Right.
press him on the Epstein case.
I
What
mean,
was
it's
he doing
Epstein.
allegedly 27
Right.
times on Epstein's Lolita
Right.
Express?
I
So,
mean, it's
it's what the
Epstein.
mainstream media doesn't cover. So
Sure.
both sides have a lot to answer
Right.
for here.
I
You
mean, I
know,
think
Now,
it's Harvey Weinstein too is another example of
exactly.
the same
And how
thing.
many years did that go by and they knew about his shenanigans?
Right. But I mean,
Don't
what?
forget,
Yeah.
mainstream media is really a club. A lot of it's East Coast liberal circles.
Right.
They talk to each other. They go to cocktail parties with each other. These are people that are supposed to be reporting on and
Right.
investigating. You
Right.
know that it doesn't work that way when you get buddied up to something like
Right.
that.
But I mean, what do you tell the ordinary consumer who is not a news junkie as we probably are, and
Yeah.
I mean, how do you who does he have time? Do you have time to go to all these different sources? What do you
I
do?
know. That's the dilemma. That's what's difficult. My advice is that don't automatically assume that anything you're hearing from any site is the truth.
Right.
But
Right.
again, how do you ferret out the truth? As you say,
Right.
who
Exactly.
has time to
Yeah.
go through all these various sites to get to arrive at your own conclusions by balancing off what you're seeing
Yeah.
on both extremes and in the middle somewhere? It's an increasingly difficult task that
Yeah.
most people are not equipped to take on through no fault of their own. They have lives, they
Yeah.
work, they come home, and that's where the media should take more responsibility,
I
especially the
agree.
mainstream media that are supposed to be the real professionals. But
But I mean,
we're
back
not
in
getting the straight story increasingly from
right.
any of these sides anymore,
Right. Right.
except for
But
us, Ken.
except for here, us, right?
Except
This
for us.
morning, right? Exactly. Hey, but the thing is, though, I mean, like it's so interesting. I saw an ad last night. I didn't do much research on it, but it was from Google, and they're pitching this streaming news thing called Smart News. And
Yeah,
as part of the pitch, the guy says something like, "I used to watch only stuff that I agreed with until I went to Smart News." So I mean, that's kind of interesting that they're
that
even
sounds
marketing that.
That sounds promising if they're
Yeah,
not, shading it their own way according to their corporate line. I don't know. But yeah,
yeah.
that might be something to sample.
But I mean, it's still a question of balance. Like last night, I was watching Chris Hayes, and they were doing cut-ins with with the hearings. I guess each congressman got 5 minutes on the Judiciary
Yeah,
Committee to talk, and they would put on the Democrat guy, and then cut off the Republican guy, then
exactly.
come back. Now
Yeah.
it's not a simple issue in the sense that, do you need the balance? How do you deal with that?
You need to bet. I mean, that was an obvious slant there. And on the other end of the spectrum, Fox News does that.
Right,
Where they may have
exactly.
some token liberal or Democrat on
Right,
who's cut off, who's
right.
ridiculed, and doesn't have the same airtime. So
Yeah,
that's the games they play. And don't forget, a lot of this stems from actually Fox News, which we both worked for at one point, an affiliate of Fox News in
right,
Binghamton.
right,
It all stems from Fox National Network,
right,
where they got the formula that you don't go for a broad audience, you go for a niche,
right,
and
right,
and you own that segment of
right,
the population. And
right,
that's when they got really jazzy with their presentations, with their
right.
packaging, with their anchors. They sexed it up, they sensationalize it, and people are drawn to that. Then the other networks that used to play it somewhat straighter, or at least
Exactly,
try to play it straight, went
exactly.
the same way because they know, especially now with so much news competition, they've
Yeah,
got to keep their ratings up. And the way
right,
to do that is to get tabloid.
right. I agree. All right, sir. Well, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you on Tuesday. Have a
Tuesday.
good
That's right.
weekend.
Okay, Ken. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.